There's a hidden truth almost no one is taught. We do not fall in love with people. We fall in love with patterns. And until a person wakes up to this, they will keep choosing the same story in a different body. This is where his journey continues, in the place where attraction meets the unconscious and desire meets the oldest wounds inside us. Because if you look closely at the people who shape your life the most, you'll see a pattern, a familiar feeling, a familiar frequency, a familiar emotional landscape, not because these people are the right ones, but because they match the very thing inside you that hasn't yet healed. This is the hidden architecture of a trauma bond. When he met her, something felt instantly powerful. A pull, a spark, a sense of recognition, as if he had known her before. Many mistake this feeling for fate, for soulmates, for destiny. But psychology offers a different explanation, one that is both confronting and liberating. You are not recognizing the person, you are recognizing the wound. The wound feels familiar. The chaos feels familiar. The emotional intensity feels familiar. The instability feels familiar. Not because it is right, but because it is known. The nervous system always seeks what it understands, even when it hurts. The heart wants love. The body wants familiarity. And so the soul tries to bridge the two through awakening. Attraction is not random. It is not accidental. And it is not about surface traits. It is the unconscious saying, here is the person who will activate the exact wound you need to heal. That is why the woman he met was not peaceful, not stable, not centered, not ready for depth, but she was perfect for the lesson, perfect to awaken the mother wound, perfect to trigger the abandonment wound, perfect to bring back the inner child, perfect to force him into transformation, perfect to show him the part of himself he had never fully met. In indigenous teachings, they say, the spirit does not send who you want. It sends who you need. Some people enter your life as blessings. Others enter as initiations. She was an initiation. To the untrained heart, this kind of attraction feels like love. But to the body, it is a reenactment, a repetition, a familiar emotional script. This is how trauma bonds form. 1. Uncertainty creates excitement. 2. Instability creates obsession. 3. Intensity imitates passion. 4. Fear imitates longing. 5. Chaos imitates connection. The very same chaos he once experienced in childhood came back in adult form, not because he failed, not because she manipulated, not because he was weak, but because the nervous system will always recreate the original wound until it is resolved. We are pulled toward people who carry the emotional shape of our earliest experience. If our earliest experience was abandonment, chaos, or instability, then that instability feels like home. The wrong people feel familiar until you heal the part of you that recognizes them. Her intensity felt magnetic. Her vulnerability felt deep. Her emotions felt spiritual. Her chaos felt soulful. Her trauma felt meaningful. But this is a known dynamic. When a man carries unresolved wounds, he becomes attracted to women who mirror the instability of his childhood environment. Not because he wants pain, but because he wants resolution. On a subconscious level, he tries to fix what once broke him. This is not love. This is the psyche attempting redemption. In the forest traditions, they describe this as the soul trying to complete the story that the child could not. He wasn't trying to love her. He was trying to save the boy inside himself. Sometimes the relationship that feels the strongest is the one built on unhealed wounds. Intensity is not proof of love. Intensity is proof of activation. Everything about her activated him. Her unpredictability, her emotional swings, her defensiveness, her past trauma, her instability, her avoidance cycles, her inability to connect deeply, her seductive chaos. She wasn't doing it intentionally. She was simply carrying her own wounds and projecting them outward. Two unhealed nervous systems were reacting to each other, and the result was a bond that felt like passion but was actually a reenactment. Trauma bonds feel spiritual because they touch the deepest layers of your psyche, but they are not spiritual connections, they are survival connections. The deeper truth is this: people who match your wound are not meant to stay. They are meant to wake you. The universe does not waste catalysts. Every person who triggers your wound is a teacher in disguise. She arrived carrying the exact frequency needed to surface. Old mother pain old, father pain old, abandonment wounds old, nervous system patterns old, fears, old stories, the shadow, the suppressed child, the unintegrated masculine. The attraction wasn't love, it was an invitation. It was the soul saying, look here. This is where you still hurt. This is where the healing must begin. When the relationship collapsed, he felt devastation. But spiritually, something else was happening. The trauma cycle ended. He didn't repeat the wound. He didn't collapse into old patterns. He didn't abandon himself. He didn't betray his intuition. He stayed present. He stayed conscious. He stayed awake. This is what breaks generational trauma. Not a perfect relationship, but a conscious interruption of the old pattern. And that is what he did. When the cycle broke, so did the attraction. A trauma bond dissolves when the wound is healed. What once felt magnetic soon felt heavy. What once felt destined soon felt misaligned. What once felt intimate soon felt unsafe. Not because she changed, but because he changed. Once you heal the wound, the people who match the wound no longer feel like home. The most powerful truth of all is this: healing changes your attraction. When he healed the inner child, chaos stopped feeling like connection. When he healed the mother wound, unpredictability stopped feeling like love. When he blessed the father wound, avoidance stopped feeling magnetic. When he integrated his shadow, intensity stopped feeling spiritual. He no longer needed to be drawn to emotional instability to feel alive. He no longer needed to rescue someone to feel masculine. He no longer needed chaos to feel close. His nervous system was finally clean. And for the first time, he could feel the difference between a trauma bond and a soul bond. This is the heart of episode 3. We do not choose the wrong people because something is wrong with us. We choose them because a part of us is trying to heal. He didn't choose her out of weakness. He chose her because his unconscious was ready to finish the story that began in childhood. And he did finish it. The cycle is broken. The pattern is complete. The wound is healed. Trauma bond attraction is not a curse. It is an initiation. And once you pass through it, your entire relational world changes. The women you feel drawn to change. The way you enter love changes. The way you show up changes. The way you receive changes. The way you trust changes. Because now you are no longer choosing from fear or wound or chemistry or chaos or absence. Now you choose from wholeness, presence, clarity, safety, maturity, and soul. The wrong people were not wrong. They were the doorway. They were the medicine. They were the mirror. The soul brings you who you need until you become who you truly are. In the next episode, the descent deepens, where the shadow appears not as an enemy, but as the ally that will lead him into the next phase of his awakening.